Welcome to Oilers Nation Every Day with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
The trade was actually a first-round pick for Colton Dach, and Jason Dickinson was the throw-in. Let's get into it with the lead. Why is Knobloch only playing him 5 minutes?
Who?
Jason
Dach?
Oh, you stunned me. You stunned me with that one. Coming off a win where, yes, the Oilers got some depth scoring, and that fourth line who was so good scoring that early goal, they were rewarded with anywhere from 5 to 7.5 minutes of ice time.
Earned, not given.
Well, anyways, welcome into today's show. Oilers Nation Every Day is live from the Sports Closet studio. Check them out online at sportscloset.ca. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet3. Oh, my God. I just combined two ad reads.
Mondays, am I right?
Mondays, Garfield. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. The show is a presentation of Bet365. Edmonton coming off a massive win.
Yeah, much needed win. Probably, I don't want to say most complete effort because our offense still lacked.
Yeah.
In the sense of, like, they didn't have a lot of shots, but in the sense of, like, they played defense, which I think is something we haven't seen. We haven't seen from the Oilers when you're playing a good team maybe all season. Like, I actually can't think of another game. Can you?
No. I mean, listen, I really hesitate. I think the box score. Oh, my hair is atrocious today. Thank you. I think the box score is maybe a little bit misleading in this hockey game for a number of reasons.
Because you hit the post 3 times.
Well, yeah, right. So, like, I'm looking at high danger shot attempts at 5-on-5. The Oilers had more than the Vegas Golden Knights in that game, and the 3 posts aren't going to register as shots on net. And I don't even think natural stat trick counts them as scoring chances either. But it's like, man, those very easily could have been goals. And I know Menzies had the tweet he passed along that the Oilers are like
10th in the league.
10th in the league in post hit. They've hit like 47 or 48 posts already this season.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do a little like back of the napkin sort of math on how hard it would boost their offense to have, well, let's call it a third of those go in. Like if the Oilers had 15 more goals this year, they would go from, well, they would be leading the NHL in goals.
I'd be curious to know too.
Not that goals for has been the issue. They're second, but
when those posts were hit.
Yeah,
like,
that's
for
fair.
Example, on Saturday, when did they play Carolina? Friday. Trent Frederic hits the post. They go there and take a penalty, and Carolina scores.
Yep.
And that's the end of the game.
Yep.
If Trent Frederic scores on that play, it's 3-3. So there's probably a lot more context to those posts as well. Like when did they happen? Like how were they doing in those games? So it's definitely not defining the season by any means.
No.
Defining.
And if you want to do that, I always kind of laugh. Like you can do the reverse too, right?
Oh,
Be
totally.
Like, how many
Yeah.
times is this?
Yeah. But the one on Friday did feel like a swing one.
Yeah, it did. And that game on Friday was, again, like ugly when you look at the shot attempts and all of that stuff. But they were, in a way, right in it till the bitter end. They got that goal to make it 4-3, and I was like, here we go. Here comes the big push. And then they gave up another one. They just needed a few more saves.
Carolina's pretty good.
Carolina's they're the best or second best team in the East, however you want to dice it up. So
I don't really understand how they don't win playoff series.
Because everything about their style is so conducive to, like, playoff hockey. Is it maybe that, allow me to present you a theory on the Canes.
Please.
Rod Brindamore is able to get that team to play such a unified, gritty, disciplined style of hockey.
Sure.
They lack high-end skill, but they almost always win because effort-wise, they're so much higher up than everyone. And then you get to the playoffs, and everybody finds that next gear of effort, and they lose because they aren't skilled enough.
They just guys balanced out. Yeah, that's fair. That's probably why they've gone for, well, we know why they've gone for Gensel and Rantanen over the last few years. But if I remember correctly in the playoffs too, Jordan Marnock and Jordan Stahl like kind of lead the way in minutes, and it gets to a point where it's like, you do realize those guys are just hitting bodies and not the back of the net, right? Like, good team though. They kicked the shit out of us on Friday.
Yeah, they did. let's get to our game recap from last night, because there's a whole bunch of things to get to. Our game recaps are brought to you by our friends at Derek Dodge. They are under new ownership, bringing a fresh approach, new energy, and a renewed focus on customer experience. And right now, they have an unbeatable deal. With every vehicle purchase, you will receive a trip for two to Las Vegas. Leave the lot with your new vehicle, and flights and accommodations for a trip for two to Vegas are on them. That is tough to beat. So visit them in person at 6211 104th Street Northwest, or online at derekdodge.com. We got an interesting comment really early on.
Today?
Yeah. Is it still up there? It's from Jay Diz. Wondering if McDavid's hand that he had taped at the Olympics is more of an injury than we thought. He took no face-offs last night.
Oh, yeah. Matt Savoy took a face-off in the defensive zone.
Yeah.
He ripped it back, too. Good for him.
So I went and did some research into this for you guys. On the season, Connor McDavid is taking an average of 11 face-offs per game.
Okay.
Last night he took 0. In the other games post-Olympic break, his average was 8.4. So he's down a little bit in the face-offs taken per game department, but not like a crazy amount. But I will not lie, last night seeing him not take a single draw was a little weird.
That is very strange, to be honest. It's a good comment. I did think about, in the moment when Savoy took it, that's the only one I specifically remember. So
yeah.
Why didn't McDavid take that one? I also think Nuge might have been on the ice, but nevertheless, yeah, maybe it is bothered him a little bit. I do think last night, though.
So again, it's dropped
he
from
was flying. Yes,
pre-Olympic break to post-Olympic break, 11.4 to 8.4.
Yeah, it's not nothing by any means. There must be something going on there. But I think his hands looked fine yesterday. He had that really good move. In what would have been in the first period. I thought he was attacking with a lot of pace yesterday. And the Carolina game, he did struggle. I don't think he played that well. Mm-hmm. That is interesting to say. In the early account, also only scored 1 goal in his last 8 games. He was banging home goals before as well.
And you know what else has dropped? And it's, again, the most obvious thing ever, but the correlation is just dead on. He's not shooting.
Yeah.
Right? Like, pre-Olympics, these were Connor McDavid's shots on goals. In the we'll go 6 games or 7 games. 8, 4, 3, 2, 3, 9, 1, and then 4, 4, 1, 5. Like, he was peaking up there. Post Olympics, 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 1. Hasn't gone 5 or more once post Olympics. So I do think there maybe is something to, maybe he doesn't feel like his shot is all that strong right now. You wonder about an injury, and this is, again, we can circle right on back to the start of the season. If you had banked a few more wins early in the year, and I don't even think this is like a stretch to say this, but like we can go back through enough games early in the year and be like, you know what, probably should have won 4 more games in the first half of the season. And if you had 8 more points right now and you were sitting at 78 points, 5 points clear of the Anaheim Ducks, even with their game in hand, and you held all these tiebreakers, you might get to a point where you go, you know, we got to sit them down for a week. But the problem was they came out of the break, we're behind the 8 ball, we're borderline chasing all the other teams in their division and had a bunch of divisional games, so you can't afford to sit them.
Well, even just to bring it to more recent times as well, if they just won a couple of games when they came out of the break, when they had leads in games against Anaheim, maybe not against San Jose, I don't recall, but they didn't play very well nevertheless. Maybe you do get to the start of April and you're like, okay, well, we went 3-0 on that road trip in California out the break and won a couple more after that, or whoever it was against, and then we can sit him down. But yeah, you're right. Now you got to push him to the limits and then go into a playoff series, which at this point you're weirdly hoping you play the Vegas Golden Knights or win the division, because I do not want to touch the Anaheim Ducks at the moment.
Well, you can talk about that in a second. Someone asked how many shots did McDavid have last night? 1, and it was on the power play. He did not have a 5-on-5 shot on goal.
But he had a couple of chances. He had the one where he drew a penalty. There was the other one, too, where his backhand just went by the net.
And that was a slick toe drag.
Yeah,
that was nasty.
Sick. So, not overly concerning in that regard. But, yeah, you're right. The comments saying he's got to shoot more. He's got to find a way.
So, here's why last night was massive. You beat the Vegas Golden Knights. It's a 4-point swing. You're now just 2 points back of the Golden Knights. You own the tiebreaker, and you play them again still this season 2 more times. Mm-hmm. You win. You can go to overtime in one of them.
Oh, yeah.
As long as you get points in both of those games, or if you win, you can win one and, lose. Oh, no, you have to win them both.
I think the Oilers have done pretty well against Vegas since Vegas eliminated them in the playoffs a few years ago. I feel like it's in their favor. And maybe that's playing into Vegas's mind a little bit, especially after the playoff series. They're obviously, what are they missing? Mark Stone, William Karlsson's another guy out there missing a couple bodies. But I mean, like
Carter Hart.
Is he out?
He's on IR.
Is he okay? Because Aiden Hill, we're worried about our goaltending, and rightfully so.
Putrid.
Aiden Hill, he's right there with them.
Yep.
He's not been very good this season. You saw the stats last night, 860. The Oilers beat him 3 times on 18 shots, but like we said, 3 of them hit the post, and they weren't like outside of the post. They were inside of the post and close to
that wasn't like poor angle shot that Hill has sealed up or some shit.
They were, he didn't have that at all. No. But I guess that's why the post is there. Either way, there we go. Devil Kid, 8-1 in their last 9. Thanks. I'd love to play Vegas in a playoff series.
So that blue line sucks.
Well, it's slow.
It's a bunch of famous names, but like actually playing the sport, it's not good.
No, Shea Theodore is obviously a good player.
McNabb can't skate.
Lazan can't skate.
Hannafin can't skate that well, or as well as he used to, seemingly.
He's taking a bit of a step back.
Anderson he's on their third pairing. He
looked bad yesterday.
Yeah.
Looks very bad. But yeah.
That's not a good blue line.
Caden Court, did he play yesterday? I do not recall him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, are they missing someone on that blue line, or is that it?
Scroll down to injuries. I don't think so. Because, again, no Pietrangelo for the year. Yeah, they're not missing anybody.
Damn. When you've been aggressive...
Korzak played the 3rd most minutes on that blue line. Or no, sorry, 5th most minutes.
Probably a good thing I didn't notice him, I guess. Yeah, trading White Cloud. That's right, they did trade White. But they got Rasmus Anderson back, so you would think that is beneficial.
Yeah.
Eventually, when you're just as aggressive as they've been over the years, it's going to catch up to you for a year or two. And I think Vegas is a good enough organization to come out of this pretty quick.
Yep.
But maybe they're in a bit of a down year. Well, not maybe. They definitely are in a down year like Edmonton.
Watching that game last night, I kept going back to like you saying you're not scared of Vegas, and I watched that game last night. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not.
No, they can't. They don't have enough goal scorers. Like Dorofeyev's good, but Eichel's obviously good. Mona's a game changer, but I don't know. I don't think they're as deep as Edmonton. I don't think Edmonton's that deep either.
No, I think that's fair. Although last night, Liam, and this can parlay into our next conversation here, the 4th line gets on the board early and gets the scoring started for the Oilers. Trent Frederic scores his 4th of the year. Bouch and Doc picking up assists. So for Doc, it's his first point as an Edmonton Oiler. Watch when the replay flips here. Watch Doc just giving it to Lauzon.
I know.
It's so funny. I love him.
I'm a big fan of him as well. He's come in and tried to he's tried to make an impact, and he's something different. And I don't think he's ignited Freddy by any means, because I think Frederic was playing well, but I think he's like opening up the ice a little bit. Like, look at him kind of drag that defenseman around with him. He also went into it with Rasmus Anderson in the game, and it's a good goal, a good hard-working goal by the Oilers.
Which is what we need more of, because, again, how many times do we watch Oilers games and go, why don't they put pucks into the net? Why don't they just try to score on rebounds? Why don't they play more desperate? And then you have a line that does it, and it's like, hell yeah, like keep that shit going. My only beef, and again, I'm willing to give a little bit more time to this, because last night I think was different than other games because of what's at stake and the 4-point swing and all that.
Agreed.
They only played 4:48 together at 5-on-5. But when that trio was on the ice, the shot attempts were 9-2, the scoring chances were 6-2, the shots were 3-1. Like they were physical. Like that trio right there is everything, Liam, you want out of a 4th line, is it not? Like a little bit of skill, bang bodies, play with pace. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I completely agree. They have an identity, and again, how many times this season have we looked at this team and was like, what is the bottom 6 supposed to do?
There's no identity, and they don't play desperate.
And I thought this line played really well. I actually thought they played pretty well against Carolina as well, to be honest. Henrique would have been on that line. And again, Frederic has come back and looked really, really good. It might seem like a demotion that he's on the 4th line, but I think it's just kind of fitting a role for him. I'm glad to see he scored a goal. The minutes, obviously low, but I just... You obviously got to find ways to get Doc involved in the game. There's no doubt about it. And that line played well yesterday. And like you said, like there's the level of how important the game was. But I look at the minutes at 5-on-5, and I'm not sure who you strip them from.
Well, and that's kind of what I was saying. Like, last night was such a unicorn game because it was tight, and you absolutely had to win it in regulation. That is not one you could have let slip to overtime.
So the most at five, this is just 5-on-5. Leon Draisaitl led the Oilers forwards in 5-on-5 minutes, 16:25. Doc was 5:04. McDavid was 14:36. Like, it's not like those guys played a ton and the Oilers just pushed it that way. Like, it really did feel like a team game. Like, maybe you could have taken a little bit more away from Roslovic and Savoy, I suppose. But even then, like, Savoy played 11:34 and Roslovic played 11:52. Like, I don't know. I do think Knobloch, to defend him a little bit, I think he's trying to figure out how to use him correctly and understand how responsible he can be in the defensive zone. And I think when they were in the offensive zone, because there was moments yesterday where Vegas had pretty good pushback and you held in you want to get McDavid and Draisaitl over the boards and get some offense and sustain it.
Here's another important piece of context with that fourth line. They had 6 faceoffs last game. They were on the ice for 6 faceoffs, 4 of them in the O zone, 1 in the neutral zone, 1 in the D zone.
There you go.
So again, Knobloch sheltered them, and that's fine. Like, you can have, if your third line, and we said this at the deadline, if your third line is going to be one that you rely on to play heavy defensive minutes, and when you look at those zone start numbers, it's flipped. The third line with Savoy, Dickinson, and Kapanen started 3 in the D zone, 2 in the neutral, only 1 in the offensive. So if you're going to have a third line where their identity is prevent, then you can have a fourth line that you shelter, and maybe you don't play them as much, but they're guys who are clearly comfortable playing in limited minutes.
Yeah, I think so. And he's got to find a way. There was something that happened on deadline day. Doc was paper transaction to Bakersfield, and he doesn't have to go down and play a game. I guess there was a rule on deadline day where you're allowed to do that, and guys can just come back up and get all that sorted out. So Doc is eligible for the AHL playoffs.
That is a good note, because we did wonder about that last week. Trent Frederic is, again, I'll go back to whoever the commenter was who made the point about like how long it takes to fully recover from a high ankle sprain.
Harper.
Yeah. That's all I can think of, because I'm watching this guy and he doesn't look like the player we were watching in November and December.
No, I told my dad about that yesterday. He was like, that makes sense. He looks a lot better. So 2 goals since coming back from the break.
2 goals in his last 4 games.
Oh, right. Yes, I guess. And a post. But he's looked effective in every game. I am curious, like, the penalty kill has looked good the past 2 games, I would say, at least. I wonder if they can expand Freddy on there a little bit. Like, what if they can find some kind of role for him? I mean, like, we'll see what happens with Henrique here. He obviously didn't play yesterday. It was a game-time decision. He did go on a trip, so I would suspect he gets in. But if he's out another game, like...
I like Szymanski there.
I like him, too. He is on an emergency recall, and Puckpedia said... teams can have 5 recalls, 5 individual player recalls after the trade deadline. The Oilers obviously haven't made one yet because it was an emergency. But they could. And I think they could afford to keep him too.
They could. Defensively, I'll say they were fine yesterday. I will say, I thought the 2 new guys, 2 of the newer guys, Doc was obviously fine, but the big ones, Dickinson and Murphy, I thought they were very noticeable defensively. Connor Murphy is, I know his rush defending was maybe something that was like criticized coming in from Chicago. Thought he was totally fine. Blocked a really nice shot in the first period. I thought Connor Murphy had himself a really solid game. Early impressions on him is a thumbs up. And I like Dickinson too. Again, the knock on him was like, how well does he move? I think he keeps up with play fine.
He's perfectly fine, yeah.
He's solid. Both those moves, look, both those trades, early returns, big thumbs up for me.
I agree. And again, it's probably, maybe it is a coincidence, maybe it's not. I don't think they've allowed a goal on the penalty kill since he's been here.
Don't believe so.
I don't, because I think the goal against the is that right? Because maybe the one counted against Carolina, but that was a 6-on-5 and with a delay penalty. So there was that. But I think the thing with Murphy as well, Walman has sucked.
Walman keeps.
And Nurse is playing like Nurse does as well.
But they keep playing Nurse.
It blows my mind. I know, it blows my mind. I don't know how he keeps getting so
Although, again, if I can defend him, Ekholm clearly had something to do with that.
Yeah, and I was kind of thinking that too, and like Walman again wasn't great. I thought he was a little bit better yesterday, but
not much.
Murphy's playing well. Hopefully he can kind of elevate those guys and they can play with a bit more confidence around him.
Last night Darnell Nurse led all Oilers in 5-on-5 ice time at 21:07, playing 2.5 minutes more than the second highest player, who was Connor Murphy at 5-on-5. Walman was third, and then it went Dry, then Emberson, then Bouch. And again, sometimes where these numbers can get thrown off a little bit is if you're having a bad game, you can get hemmed out there a lot as a defenseman. And just looking at Darnell Nurse's shift chart from yesterday, he had one, it looks like 2 really long ones in the first period where he was hemmed. And yeah, even in the second period, I'd count 2 of these as being extraordinarily long.
He actually played 26 shifts, which was 3 less than Murphy and 1 less than Walman, and played more minutes in both of them.
That tells you something right there. Because when Darnell Nurse was on the ice at 5-on-5 yesterday, you want to know what the shot attempts were?
Oh, probably not good.
29-9 for the Vegas Golden Knights.
So shut down defenseman.
23
shut down the Oilers.
23%, and he scored on himself.
Yeah.
Shots were 12-2.
Wild.
Like, I'll read you because they didn't again, because of the Ekholm illness that they were just trying to get him through, they didn't exclusively play Nurse with Emberson. They gave him some shifts with Murphy, and they gave him like 2 or 3 with Bouch. But when you look, Nurse with Emberson, shot attempts, 19-5 for Vegas and 14 5-on-5 minutes. With Murphy, they were 7-1 in 4.5 minutes. And then you compare that, like Murphy when he was out there with other guys. When he was out there with Walman, it was only 16-11. The shots were only 5-4. Then he goes out there with Nurse and he just gets caved 4-0.
16-11 in favor
of Vegas.
Okay, good.
But still not nearly as bad. It goes from like 20-some% to 40% at least.
Well, those guys too are like likely starting the defensive zone more than anything. Like they're gonna get it. But yeah, you're right. Like it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, man.
Daryl struggled.
He's,
to say the least.
And again, like Walman has been also not good. He made a couple decisions early in that game where I'm like, what is this guy doing? Like he just looks like he's going out there and playing without a thought in his head at times. And I know that's like a really mean thing to say, but like that's legitimately how it feels. Like he's just flying around there and trying to go off of instincts. And it's like, no, dude, you need to like take it easy and think about what you're doing and pick your spots better.
Yeah. Just lift your head up on the ice. He's just the ability to be a really good offensive player. I just don't know how he just completely collapses sometimes.
And Nurse is bordering on unplayable.
Yeah.
But yet they're playing him north of 20. Like can I also say, for everyone who loves to like do the whole, the media in Edmonton let this team away, Gregor holding Knobloch's feet to the fire on why he continually goes to McDavid and Draisaitl, even though their goal share numbers are terrible.
Average.
Just
normal, yeah.
And then it tanks the rest of the team. And Knobloch not having a fucking clue how to answer it was hilarious. And again, shows that like, no, the media will grill these guys.
It's alarming.
But there also needs to be a much bigger conversation happening about Darnell Nurse, because what does this coaching staff see in continually giving him 20-plus minutes a game? Like and again, I think you can make him into, and hold your 9.25 comments. Don't even waste the energy to type him into the keyboard and put him in the YouTube. I know how much he makes. Make him the best third pairing defenseman you can make him.
I do wonder what happens when Walman eventually finds his game again.
Yeah.
Like hopefully that comes.
You need him and Murphy to be a second pairing.
By the end of this road trip, we need to see Walman find a level that we haven't seen all season. And does that then drop those minutes a little bit for Nurse? What did Ekholm end up playing yesterday?
10-20 or something at 5-on-5.
Okay, yeah, so it's 14-12 total. But the problem is, even if he is sick, Nurse is still hitting those minutes like on a nightly basis.
I know.
And it's wild. So these are his last 5 games, we'll say. 23, 18, 20, 21, 21, 21, 21, 19, 21, 22. That was a lot less than, it's just wild. Since coming back, he's averaging over 20 minutes a game. I just don't get it.
Don't get it, man. Someone up there commented and said the breakout structure is horrible. Evan Bouchard makes it work because he's that good, but they need to revisit it. And I think I agree with you on that. I think their forwards go up too high. I'm not great at breaking down structures and systems and all of that, but the amount of times they do like the D to D pass in the D zone while the other team is like regrouping or changing, they'll do the D to D pass like halfway up in their own end. And then eventually the other defenseman just has to try like rocket one in the middle of the ice and hope someone can deflect it because everyone's just standing still. It's crazy. And I will also say this might be like a hot takey kind of whatever.
Here we go.
You watch that game. And, like, even just yourself, I know there are, like, metrics and numbers. Count how many times Evan Bouchard makes a really good play with the puck that gets him out of the zone. And then just try to count how many times other guys will do it. Oh, my God. It's, like, insane, the difference. And maybe I'm biased because I really like Bouch. But, like, I legitimately, when you look at how good both Connor and Leon have been for stretches, and right now this is a Leon stretch, his numbers are out of this world.
He's playing really well.
But Evan Bouchard has just been, like, consistently the only defenseman who is doing good things. There's probably a case he's their MVP this year.
Oh, agreed. Totally agreed.
Like, that is that hot takey or is that, like, good?
No, he could win the Norris. Like,
yeah.
The fact he's in the conversation and the national media is now on his side shows how well he's playing. But on the other side of it, Apple iPhone was going in the
Great
chat
YouTube
about
name.
how Walman is playing so poorly and like how he keeps icing the puck. Maybe it's because the forwards show literally no support to the defense.
I think there's a bit of that.
And you say, and you're right, like I can't think of a player who does it more regularly than Bouchard does, but like Nurse and Walman and Ekholm are more than capable NHL
Ekholm
players.
ices the puck more than anybody.
Totally.
I don't know if there's numbers, but like I think it's Ekholm.
But why is the center not low enough to help them out, or the wingers low enough? Like I'm not good at breaking down those kind of things either. But to me, if your defensemen are struggling to get pucks up the ice, maybe build a system that helps them get it up there a little bit easier, rather than just like, oh my God, Hyman's on the other blue line. I have to put this right on his stick so he could tip it in and just give it to the other team immediately and turn it back the other way. It's just a 200-foot turnover. Whether you ice it or they tip it, because we're never getting it, because unless you're McDavid or Podkolzin the captain, no one's catching those pucks. They're coming in so hot. Yeah, it's pretty silly. And again, like, I think Knobloch's really sucked this season. I think he's let this team down on a significant level.
Yep.
And I just don't even care that they're 3 points off the divisional lead. And I honestly think, as someone who's watched this team, winning a division would obviously be really good, but it also feels like lifeless. In the sense, like just a hollow victory.
They can change your opinion of that, though.
Totally, and they definitely can. If they finish these, 19, 18 games left, and they go really
18.
strong, get in some momentum, great. But like, it just feels like you don't deserve it. I don't think any of them really deserve it in the division. Anaheim, sure, like they've really turned it around. Like no matter what their points are, they've had a successful season. But watching that game yesterday, Edmonton Vegas, if you think either of those teams are winning the Stanley Cup today, then I don't know what we've been watching throughout the NHL season, because it's probably about 6 of the teams that deserve it more than both of them.
Yeah. If you are not at a 600 points percentage in the Eastern Conference, you are out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
There are 5 teams in the West who are below a 580 and are holding playoff spots. One of them's winning their division. That's bananas.
Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago that the Eastern playoff race was done by Christmas, too.
Yeah, you could argue it's almost done now. We'll talk about that later.
Sure. But yeah, like things flip all the time. But yeah, I've been disappointed in Knobloch. I wrote my article about it the other day and just talked a little bit about how I didn't like the narrative that Bowman was lazy at the trade deadline and just went to his old team. So no, he just went to the team with the #1 penalty kill and got their best 2 defensive players. But now it's down to Knobloch. Bowman's job is done for the year.
Yeah.
He's going to go and find some other pieces. Sure, college guys, European guys, pay for the draft free agency, whatever, contracts. But Knobloch, you got to sort this out. Because Friday night was honestly embarrassing. And now you played well yesterday. But again, Vegas is a weak team. Now you have Colorado.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Let's get to, as we continue.
What did you think about Connor Ingram last night?
Oh, I thought he played well. I'm glad
that first goal.
What goal? It didn't count. I don't know what you're talking about.
Flip, is he ever lucky that was offside?
That was brutal.
That was horrendous. Putrid.
Yeah, I don't
can't
even
go
understand how that goes. Also, the Hanifin goal, you can go back. Brett Kulak was on the team when I pointed this out specifically. Why does this team refuse to battle in front of their own net?
Optional.
I think that's what they say in video meetings. But like Darnell Nurse
gets manhandled in front.
He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, you're right.
Move the guy. You're the toughest guy on the team. Push that guy out of the way. I don't even know who it was, but you just stand in front of your goalie, and then all of a sudden, like, what is that? That is a terrible effort, and that needs to be called out in video, not by me. But like, the only reason that goes in the net is because Darnell Nurse refuses to battle and get out of the way of his goaltender. He is screening the goalie.
He's playing. It's almost like, if I can try to think about what's going on in his head here, it's almost like he thinks he's 2 feet over. Like, if you're on the post, that's actually the right play, right?
Yeah.
Don't take a penalty. Keep him boxed out. But it's almost like he thinks, this is a great pause, he thinks he's 2 feet to the right.
Yeah, but instead he's in the middle
He's in the middle of the net, and it's easy for Hanifin to just shoot through that screen. That was terrible.
Awful.
Well,
and bad on Bouchard too on the shorthanded goal.
Yeah.
That was Dunker play.
Well,
yeah,
good on Ingram. I will say on the shorty, if I want to, again, I know I'm always a pro Bouchard guy. There was a lot of puck watching there.
Oh, agreed. Yes.
And the puck kind of takes a shitty bounce over his stick. But, like, if you watch, Draisaitl is engaged with his guy. And then Draisaitl, as that puck goes to Bouch, he just kind of, watch him. There's a good spot to pause it, actually, where, like, here, we'll see it when it comes back around. Okay. So pause it a little more. Okay. Here, in the next 2 seconds, Jack Eichel becomes wide open in the slot. Connor Murphy is currently in the slot. For some reason, follows a guy low. I don't know why you would do that.
Yeah.
Connor McDavid loops back to give Bouch an outlet. Yeah. So I think McDavid was in the right here. But now watch Leon Draisaitl for this replay. Connor Murphy is a lost cause. He's been very good. This is a horrendous decision and read.
I don't know why he's on the power play. There's still 30 seconds left here.
Because they're protecting a lead, I think.
I guess.
So they're getting ready for the post power play push.
Sure.
Watch Draisaitl. He just lets Jack Eichel skate away. Why do you do that? Man. Again, maybe he thinks he's giving Bouch an out. No, he's not.
It's a tight pass. It's a tight pass.
I don't know why he did that. Anyways, we got a warning from YouTube, so we have to stop watching replays. It was fun while it lasted.
Also, I mean, there's 90 seconds into that power play, and the Oilers had done absolutely nothing.
No.
You are battling in your own end on the power play against the boards. That's not just a Bouch problem to be in that situation.
No, and Jack kept saying on the broadcast, like, oh, you don't want a short-handed goal. Like, you got to be careful with your shots from the point. It's like, okay, but that doesn't mean you can't shoot. It'd be nice if you would put some pucks on net a little bit. And even with 3 posts, the Oilers would have still had 21 shots. And last couple of games, it's been low. Let me know what you think of this. I don't mind it as long as they're actually playing a team game and playing some defense. Like the Oilers are more than capable of producing offense from very little opportunities. But I would like to see them take their opportunities as well on the power plays when they get them. It's number one for a reason.
All right. Let's get to, because we skipped over a pretty big moment in this hockey game. It was 1-1 heading into the third.
Oh, yeah.
Hand up. I didn't watch the third period till I got home. I had beer league last night. So I had to go home, watch the end of the game again. And I was sitting on the bench at beer league, and my very loving wife was there. My dad showed up.
On the bench?
No, just watching from the stands, enjoying some quality time, the two of them. And when he sat down, she looked at him and said something, and then he just shook his head and went, no. And I'm sitting on the bench for my beer league game. I'm like, fuck, they lost. Oh. I'm like, she probably asked him if the Oilers won, and he shook his head no and looked pissed. So I was living a solid 25 minutes of my life thinking they blew this game in the third period. Boy, was I surprised when I got home. That goal by Vasily Podkolzin, you know what it is, Liam? It's our Bright Dental Bright Moment of the game.
Rightfully so.
A family dental office located in St. Albert, open Monday to Friday from 8 to 8. Bright Dental is a Blue Diamond Invisalign provider. You can schedule your free dental scan today. Bright Dental offers a full range of dental services, including same-day crowns. Give Bright Dental a call to book an appointment at 780-458-2333, or for more information, go to brightdental.ca. Vasily Podkolzin. It sucks we can't play this replay because YouTube will shadow ban us. Yeah, we could. I mean, no, they've been tagging those two. Let's just not risk it.
I'll tell you about it.
Him going from totally standing still to that max speed, and both Anderson and Hanifin, or Anderson and Lausanne, was it?
Lausanne, yeah.
They're just standing there. They have no hope in hell. It's a beauty. We're watching it on the TV behind us. You guys can see it.
Just a great burst.
But like, he creates like a solid 2 strides of separation on each of them.
He's a good skater.
He's a great player.
He's really powerful player. He's a great player. It's a good way to put it. Also, absolutely killed Noah Hanifin earlier in this game too. I believe it was Hanifin or Anderson, whoever it was. It was Shea Theodore. Crushed him into the boards. But also Shea Theodore stopped right in front of him as he was about to hit him, so good no call. But Pods, what a season. You said at the start of the year, did you say you think you get to 20 goals?
I predicted 23.
Okay, and I think I was pessimistic.
Well, pessimistic because we were sitting there being like, he doesn't get power play time. How is he going to get 23 5-on-5 goals? It's very hard to do that.
He's become a play driver.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't mean in the sense of like he just has the puck on his stick all the time and can make plays, but like, I just think he's playing with a ton of confidence. And I'm sure this is what the Vancouver Canucks thought they were getting when they took him 10th overall. Then they just killed all his momentum.
Yeah.
I do like that the Oilers have always kept Podkolzin in a spot to succeed. And he's never really given him a reason to not do that either. So I love him. I think everyone is just a fan of this player. Like, what's not to love about him? He'll beat you up, he'll score goals, and then he'll beat you up again.
Yeah.
The give a shit meter on Pods is through the roof for 82 games.
If everyone had Podkolzin's effort, the Oilers would be incredibly difficult team to beat.
Yes. 5-on-5 goals, all right? So NHL.com does even strength, and I don't like that because it includes empty netters.
Yeah, which is weird.
Which is so dumb.
Not
5-on-5 goals this year. Vasily Podkolzin currently sits in a tie for 37th in the NHL. You want to hear some of the guys that he has the same number of there's 2 guys he has the same number of 5-on-5 goals as.
Yes, I'd love to.
Mikko Rantanen and Kirill Marchenko.
Not a superstar.
That's crazy. Liam, he has more 5-on-5 goals this year. I'll read you all the guys who are at 14 because there's a whole whack of them.
And he has 14.
He has 15.
15, okay.
These are all the guys who have 14. Tuck, Panarin, Bedard, Velarde, Raymond, Crosby, Batherson, Ovi, Kempe, Krause, Tippett, Jarvis, Fiala. That's superstars, Olympians, and a future MVP in Connor Bedard.
So, not MVP in Bedard in my eyes. On the Oilers, I know only Draisaitl and McDavid are ahead of him on the forward side of things, I would assume in general. What's the rest of the list looking like? Because Zach Hyman, I would assume, is not too far away.
And Hyman was hurt.
Yep. So I think he's 12, 13.
Yeah, Hyman's played 191 fewer minutes than Pods. That's 19 fewer games at 5-on-5. So Connor's at 16 5-on-5 goals. Leon's at 16. Pods is 15. Hyman's 12. Roslovic's 11. Everyone else 7 or fewer.
Okay.
Mangiapane's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 6th amongst forwards. Damn.
It's not bad.
Maybe we shouldn't have. Yeah, well.
I will say, too, I like those stats for players like Podkolzin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care for them that much for like when it's like, McDavid only has 16 5-on-5 goals because he still has 30 plus goals on the season.
Yeah, I mean you
know what I mean. He's still scoring, but like when you put it into that context, it's very impressive.
So 5-on-5 goals for percentage is a nice measure of like, does more good shit happen on the ice than bad shit when you're out there, right?
Yeah.
Kapanen has the best 5-on-5 goals for percentage on the team.
Nice.
When Kapanen's been on the ice, only 308 minutes, so that's worth probably keeping in mind. 18 goals for and 11 goals against. That's 62% leads the Oilers. Second on the team is Vasily Podkolzin. 49 goals for, 35 against, 58%. Then you get to Draisaitl. Then it's Ekholm, then Bush, then Hyman, then Emberson, then McDavid. And those are the only guys above 50%. But Vasily Podkolzin, 58% 5-on-5 goal share. Crazy good number.
I hope he stays there forever.
That extension looks so good.
Yeah.
For every Frederic extension, if you can get a Podkolzin extension, you're going to be
Freddy on pace for now?
You're going to be in a not terrible spot.
Frederick's got to be on pace for 6 goals this season.
Yeah, probably about 6 or 7. I mean, think he can get to like 9, stay hot?
Let me see.
5 in his final 18?
He's currently on pace for 5, according to my math, which is fine.
But he's scoring over the last 4 games at a 40-goal pace.
Yeah.
So you didn't factor that in.
No, I did not.
No, you didn't. Anyways, shout out to Vasily Podkolzin. Tied for 37th in 5-on-5 goals in the NHL. Got him for a mid-round pick from the Canucks. Extended him for $2.9 million. That works.
Holloway who?
He's got more 5-on-5 goals than him. Liam, our guest, is here.
Okay, I'll straighten out.
Yep. Dial it in. Our David Pagnotta is brought to you by Oodle Noodle. You can download the Oodle Noodle app and take advantage of the value menu deal. Add 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 wontons to your order for just $2. OodleNoodle.ca to find a location near you. Fourthperiod.com to find the latest from David Pagnotta, who joins us as he does every Monday on the show. Dave, how was your post-trade deadline weekend? Did you drink 3,000 beers?
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I tried very hard to do whatever I could Friday to forget about the whole day. And nothing worked. Like nothing. Like the amount of, I drank a lot. And, you get to a point where you're just so exhausted that, 50 beers deep and you're like, this is nothing. I'm going home.
Yeah.
I didn't go that hard, but nothing worked. Nothing worked. We had a nice little post-deadline little gathering and such, and nothing. I tried.
Dave, I had a great time. Thanks for taking me out on the town.
Yes.
It was unbelievable. You're the man.
Yes, we did. We tried, right? Like we tried to get things going, and I was feeling nothing. Like I was disappointed, but also very tired. And I'm glad you had fun, Aaron. Yeah, I slept all weekend. It was fantastic.
That's not bad. Well, not to bring up any sort of like PTSD then from the pre-deadline times, but this was very, like looking back on it, this was very clearly a seller's market. Are there any teams, and I guess this could go like either ways, like are there any teams or GMs who you think woke up today on Monday and were like, you know what, I should have bucked up and paid the price and not gotten gun shy? Or are there any teams that you think are sitting there going like, you know what? Everyone kind of called my bluff. Maybe I shouldn't have been asking for so much for Vincent Trocheck or whatever. Who's waking up this morning with regret?
I think the Rangers would have liked to do. It's funny you mentioned Trocheck. I think the Rangers would have liked to do a little bit more business. They didn't, but I think they would have liked to do that. I think they would have liked to move Trocheck. I think that conversation, like there a lot of. I wrote about this last night, and I know some other people are talking about this, reporting similarly. A lot of work was made over deadline week and into deadline day that I think is going to carry over into summer. A lot of it. I mean, full credit to Kent Hughes and the Habs GM for acknowledging that they were in on something big. I'm pretty sure it was for a forward, and they hope to continue those conversations in the summer. I think there were a lot of teams in that same boat. So I don't think there's too much regret from that side, but I do think a few teams would have liked to have done a little bit more. I think the Rangers are one of them.
To bounce around a little bit, and you're not the only one who's whispered this name. I know Jeff Merrick brought it up, but if you say Darnell Nurse or even something that rhymes with it, this fan base is going nuts. Is that maybe where it came from? Like, did the Oilers maybe have some conversations over the last week where they were like,
well, okay, yeah. First of all, you said this was like 4th on the list when we were talking about topics, but fine, we'll get to it now. Sneaky. No, it's fine. I don't think it got too advanced in terms of external conversations. I know Nurse was a topic of discussion with at least one other team, outside of the Oilers, obviously. But I don't think it got too far along. I think this is something that will be looked at in the summer. And a bigger conversation obviously is to happen with him and go from there. But I do believe he was brought up with at least one, or I was told so that's why I believe it, that he was brought up with at least one team. But again, I don't know how in-depth those conversations went. I don't think they went too far, but his name was popping up a few times over the course of the week. But again, I don't think it got to the point where it was serious. I think it will be, as I said, a subject for the summer.
Did the Oilers get close on anybody on deadline day? And if they did, is there a reason why things didn't get completed?
There was a lot of tire kicking. They were one of the teams that were in on Bobby McMahon, and there were a few people that thought that was going to get to the finish line. Didn't happen. Obviously, he ended up in Seattle. Colorado was in the mix. Utah was in the mix. There were a few other teams that were in the mix on Bobby McMahon, including the Oilers going into deadline day. Day of, I think they were pretty set with what they've got. Now, there were some discussions, and I think it was on a similar level of Nurse in terms of goaltending. But I don't think, and what I mean by similar on Nurse is I don't think it got to the point where it was, coming down to the wire or a decision had to be made or anything like that. I think there were loose conversations about goaltending, and I don't think it progressed to the point where it got overly serious, because I think there were too many moving parts for that to be considered in such a short period of time. And I think there were multiple. I don't think it was just one guy that they were targeting. I think there was at least two scenarios that could have been explored, but I don't think got to that point.
And the goaltending thing, honestly, the goaltending market as a whole just felt very clunky to me, because people were bringing up the Oilers, and it's kind of like, okay, unless there's a guy out there for a couple $1 million, which I don't think there was, it had to be like Tristan Jarry going the other way. And it's like, oh, that seems like something that probably can't happen at the deadline. And then even when you look, like there was the Carolina rumors about Bobrovsky. And I was like, okay, sure, they keep half. And then what? Like Carolina's going to like squeeze out Freddie Anderson. Like Montreal, Binnington, okay. But then like is St. Louis taking Montembeau's deal? Everything just, I never bought the goaltending smoke.
And I think like a lot of names popped up last week. And I think that's why it garnered so much attention. Like I think I know there were conversations. I just don't think anything got even remotely close to the finish line in any sense. There was some talk Wednesday night or Thursday night about Vegas and Bobrovsky. That one side was suggesting something was close. The other side was saying, no, it's not close. So his name was certainly out there. There were some people who believed that Bobrovsky himself was asking some friends of his how life in Montreal was like. But again, nothing really got to the point where it was going to happen. Like I don't get a sense like there was an offer on the table in the goalie market that needed some convincing, or they just needed to debrief on something and then it didn't work out. So, I don't think it got to that point, but Wallsted's name was out there out of Minnesota. We heard both Stolar's and Wall's name out of Toronto. Bob, the Buffalo was shopping Devin Levi. Like there were a lot of different pieces out there. Levi, a bit of a different scenario because of where he's at right now, but I think he has another year left on his deal too. But in terms of the NHL goalie market, in terms of starters and whatnot, there were so many names out there because I think so many teams were just exploring possibilities, but it never really got, at least my sense, is that nothing really, really got close to happening on that side.
So I just want to ask you about goalies again, because you're here and that's just what we do. Obviously,
your favorite topic.
Yeah. Well, Jared McCann didn't get moved, so
and the Oilers aren't firing Knobloch.
Yeah, so I got to ask you about goalies again.
Right. Thank you.
Do you think are they that worried about Jarry in the sense of like the fact that I thought it even came up was quite interesting. I thought they would show like a little bit more trust. You can argue if he's earned that or not, but even Jason Gregor here in Edmonton had the post the other day is like, I was watching practice. I've never seen so many pucks go in on a goalie, that being Tristan Jarry, and now all of a sudden there's these conversations about a new goalie. Like, they obviously can't be over him, but have they lost a little bit of trust over there?
I think this is more the Oilers being a team that just looked at every possibility.
Gotcha.
And honestly, I think that's the best way to sum that up. And I don't want to give the cop-out GM answer, which is if there's an opportunity to make our team better, we're going to look at it or we're going to take it. But I think that's what they were doing. They were just combing the market to see how can we be better. And if it's moving out Nurse, if it's swapping out goalies again, if it's XYZ, then they were going to look at it. But again, I don't think any of those topics got to the point where they were like, we got to hunker down here, boys. Like everybody just dial in and let's see if we can figure this out. I don't think it got to that point on any of those fronts on deadline day for the Oilers, but they were exploring multiple options. It's just, so was everybody else, right? Like it's just trying to make your team better. And then if one of those conversations got serious, then they would have engaged a lot more. But I don't think it got to that point.
So how would you grade what Bowman has done? Like obviously the few days leading up to the deadline, but I think including Jarry in there as well. He also Stastny and Ingram were trades. Like, how would you review his body of work so far this season?
And I think I would include the Roslovic signing in there too.
Yeah, that's fair. Given the circumstances and given the cards that he was dealt with this season, which I mean, he's the GM, so a lot of it he dealt himself. But just given the situation of the team and the cap implications tied to the Oilers, I think he did a decent job. Like, he needed to bring in a defenseman. He didn't need the puck mover. He needed somebody more stable in the back end, and they brought in Murphy. Mm-hmm. They needed to get a little bigger, and they wanted to address the 3C. They did that, both accounts, by getting bigger in the bottom six and getting Dickinson as an option as 3C. And he's interchangeable. Doc's interchangeable. Roslovic, he took a shot, and it's been decent, I think. I don't think it's gotten to the point where it's a home run or a grand slam or anything like that, but he's been solid overall. But again, like, this is a team that had significant cap restraints. So to get out of that, or at least to give yourself enough flexibility to make these types of moves, goaltending move included, under the circumstances, I think he did pretty decently.
Mm-hmm. I thought so too. I mean, the fact, what was it? Murphy and Dickinson's, both their cap hits were over $4 million combined.
And they got him
down.
like
$8 million, got him down. Like,
yeah.
You got to squeeze. You kind of got fortunate, I guess, with the timing of the GM Mark injury. Mm-hmm. But they got better, and that's kind of the point: is you improved your team ahead of what should be a decently long playoff run if you play well enough.
Right, and you're. Sorry, but you're giving your guys, like, how many times have we seen players come out there on their teams and say, I feel pretty good that our GM believes in us. Like, he's made moves to help us out and things like that. Really, it's up to the core guys to get the job done and build off of that, right? Like, you've got, like, these are intangible. These are strong intangible pieces that you've added to your team. That's what every championship caliber team needs. You need these types of players. Now, do I think there are additional holes on this team? Yes. But I don't know how you fill those holes right now. You need to give yourself more flexibility, and I've been adamant about this all season. The summer will be interesting for the Oilers, and now there's the Nurse situation, so I think it'll be that much more interesting.
You brought it up again. The headline, Oilers Nation, Pagnotta unprompted brings up Darnell Nurse on OLED every day.
Title of our YouTube video.
You got yourself.
Continuation. It was a flow from the original conversation. Yep.
I've had a really
I can't
hard
wait
time.
for my comments later.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Tough. I did the whole today on DFO Live with Huts. We did the whole, like, all right, deadline winners and losers, right? You got to do it on the Monday after. I'm having a hard time finding a winner. Like, I even look at Colorado and I'm like, all right, they got Nazem Kadri. Like, that's a great big ad. And then I kind of sit there and I go, like, if you guys really thought you could still get Kadri, why did you trade a first for Nick Waugh? Like, that feels redundant and an overpay considering you got Kadri. Like, I'm having a hard time finding someone who, again, is there a GM who woke up this morning being like, shit, I killed it last week?
Well, I do think Colorado did. I think they I mean, they're
all
that
in.
much better. Yeah, exactly. Now the watch. So this, the Avs tried hard to get Kadri, obviously midweek, and when they thought it wasn't going to be possible, they went after Nick Waugh, and they pulled that trade off. And then when a few teams, including Montreal, tried kicking the tires again and circled back on Kadri, the Avs re-entered the chat. Now, I don't know if they initiated it or if the Flames initiated it, but I think everybody and their dog knows that Kadri's number one spot was Colorado. That was his preferred. He has a full, he had a modified no trade list and whatnot, but number one on his wish list would have been the Avs to go back there. And it ended up happening. There were a few things going on behind the scenes that prevented that trade from happening earlier. So they had to pivot, bring in Nick Waugh and go from there. But then the opportunity arose afterwards to get Naz, and they pulled it off. So between that and bringing in Kulak, and I think there was, I don't even remember. There might have been another move that they made. I can't remember, to be honest. But just making those types of moves, I think they – right. Yeah, there you go. Depth defenseman, right. Out of Nashville. So adding him and adding depth and addressing your pivot position, I mean, and it gives them flexibility. You can throw Naz on the wing in certain circumstances. You can throw Nick Waugh on the wing. They're a hell of a lot deeper and probably a lot scarier. So, I mean, we'll see. And there were others. Like Dallas went back on Blake Coleman, and the word there was if they moved out a body, they'd bring in Coleman. It sounded like something was in place for that to happen. Had they moved out another body, a player with term, they didn't do that. So Coleman stuck around in Calgary.
So you've mentioned, you've been on this idea that this offseason, the Oilers are going to try and do something big and improve their team. But I wonder, just because of the transition out of this team the last couple of years, do you also think they could keep a few players around and kind of start this okay, this is our new window team.
Core.
Yeah. So maybe they get rid of Nurse and that's fine, whatever. But previous years, what I'm getting at is Connor Brown was a really impactful player for this team. They let him walk out the door. Warren Fogle in the same boat. And there's obviously Holloway, Broberg, a couple other guys in there too. And now it seems like for the last 3 seasons, they've had to just almost reinvent their entire team besides what the core is. Do you think they'll try and keep some guys together then, like Dickinson and Murphy and those kind of new players?
That's a good question.
Well, I think we won't know the answer to that until the end of their season, whenever that is. Because, I mean, if they don't click, if they don't gel, then you're going to want to replace them with guys who can.
Yeah.
You need a bit of runway here to see how these guys perform and click with this group. The window is 2 years, right? Yeah. I mean, it's well, I mean, I don't even know if it's 2 years, guys, to be perfectly honest with you.
It might be one.
Unless they right, exactly. You want to make sure. I don't think they win the Stanley Cup this year, right? That's,
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how else to word it. I don't think they're going to win the Stanley Cup this year. Going into the season, I didn't think that. I thought 27 was going to be a prime year for them because of not just the offseason, but also, I mean, look at Connor. 2 years left after this season, right? You don't want to go into that final year with ooh, man, I think now we finally have the team. You want to go into next season with that mentality, with we've got this piece, we've got that piece. Holy shit, we're right there. Let's make this happen. And I think that's part of this little process because they needed to get bodies out last summer, right? Kane and so on. And they couldn't bring back Perry. They couldn't bring back some of the guys you mentioned over the last 2 years. They've got a bit of an opportunity in the summer with a little extra flexibility because the cap's going up, plus whatever the hell else they pull off. So that's why this summer is going to be very important. And I think next season is as all in as you can possibly be. That's not to say they're not all in now. I think they are situationally all in, just based on, again, cap, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, that's fair. I know there was, we'll save a couple things for next week.
Sure.
But great work on deadline day. Loved working with you on Daily Faceoff Live, and where I will give you your flowers as an insider. When we were sitting here and the fan base was sitting here in October, November going, goalie, scoring goalie, you said the whole time, Ekholm Jr., and you were the only guy in this market hammering Ekholm Jr. Son of a bitch, they got Connor Murphy, who's kind of Ekholm Jr. So you nailed it. We appreciate you giving us all the rumors and tidbits that you do leading up to deadline day, so thank you.
Thank you, guys. It was a lot of fun. I guess thanks, Stan, for not making me look like a total jackass for pulling it off. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the stretch goes.
Yeah. All right.
So Bowman's your source?
Yes, exactly. That's it. That's exactly.
Okay, we'll chat next week, Dave.
Yep. They're on to me. Shit. See you guys.
There you go, Dave Pagnotta. DFO Rundown Insider Edition is where you can listen to him on the Daily Faceoff YouTube. Him and Irf Gafar do a obviously great show. I'm excited for their episode this week because I'm sure they'll be cleaning up a lot of loose ends from the deadline.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like what he kind of told us that we kind of knew they were in on McMahon, didn't we? And what other things? It's always interesting to see what teams didn't do almost more than what they did do half the time. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of comments in the chat, and I think we need to address this McDavid stuff. Did you read Pierre LeBrun's article today?
No.
Maybe pull that up as I talk about something here. Apple iPhone. You've been in the chat a lot today.
Very active.
Very active. And I will continue to read your comments because you're controversial. You said in here, why did the Oilers... there you go. Why did we give up our assets for this year if we didn't have a chance? Save the assets for 2027. Well, I think there's two reasons. One, they have a chance. They have two of the best players in the league, McDavid and Draisaitl. And when the Oilers have gone into playoff runs, they've always somehow been able to turn around, the last couple of years anyway, what crap they did in the regular season. So there's that side of things that you have to believe in. I guess I have three reasons. Two, you might be able to re-sign Dickinson and Murphy. Maybe they both work, and then you just have those two guys, and then you don't have to find them again. And the third one is, if you don't show Connor McDavid and Draisaitl and the other stars on your team, of course, that you believe in them and that you can go out and get players and bring them in to help them win games, then you're going to lose them anyway, and you've already lost it all. So as a GM, Stan Bowman, it is his responsibility to make sure this team is in the best possible position to succeed. Yeah. And I think he did a pretty good job. There's always the Mangiapane side of it from the contract, and that's 100% fair. But the players they brought in, I think, made the Oilers better, and have already had an impact in 2 games.
So I just read Pierre LeBrun's piece.
Yes. It's not very long if anyone wants to go check it out.
It's on The Athletic. Here are some of the, I'll call them important lines in all of this. When McDavid signed a 2-year extension, it did not necessarily mean he was signing it to be on the Edmonton Oilers through 2027-28. All Pierre is saying is kind of what we just hinted at with Dave. And Liam, it's something you and I have talked about all year. Yeah. Next year is the biggest year in the Connor McDavid era.
You could argue it's the biggest year in franchise history.
Probably. Yeah. Because if you go on a deep run or win it all, you have Connor and you're good. Mm-hmm. If you flame out early, he will sit there with a year left and say, hey, guys, I'm going to market. And if he says, I'm going to market, you have to sit there and say, do we look at trading him? And that's kind of what Pierre says. He said, the reason I don't think McDavid wants to just walk out the door in 2028 as a UFA and not, he says, that's the reason McDavid won't just walk. He wants to get the Oilers something in return. That's fair. And again, he goes on to add that, don't discount the possibility that if they flame out in the first round this spring, McDavid might feel a certain way about it and about his place with this team.
Sure.
I'm not totally buying that.
I think that would be too soon. I think he just wouldn't have signed if he thought that.
If he really thought that it was one more year and they're done, he just wouldn't have signed.
I agree. So,
and here's the last thing I'll say. How many times when there was the whole contract thing this September, we're talking like not even a year ago, how many insiders said, oh, yeah, I've heard he's walking. Oh, it's 50, Drager. Oh, it's 50-50 at best that he signs before the season starts.
Well, Drager wouldn't speculate, to be fair.
Yeah, he never would. I'm hearing he wants to go to New York. Oh, I'm hearing this. He's got his eyes on Toronto's cap. Every insider went blah. And, okay, also we can't clip this because I don't need that on me. We might need him as guests one day. But right, everybody who had a podcast and a show went this, blah, 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 blah. What did Connor McDavid do? He signed a 2-year deal for $12.5 million. Did anybody speculate that he was going to do that?
No, not that short.
No. There was like, it might be 3-4 years. It's probably going to be about 15, 16. He stunned everybody. And I think he obviously did it for competitive reasons. I think he kept that as close to his chest because he wanted to give a little, no one knows what I'm thinking but me. I'm going to do whatever I want. And he said it's my career.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think the idea that anybody out there knows definitively what Connor McDavid wants to do is absolute point blank bullshit.
I do like Amanda's comment in the chat. Anyone know where Lauren's second Trove location is going to be? That'll be a layer. Let's hope it's Vancouver. We need like Vancouver, Ottawa, one of these crappy places. Yeah. But I think the other narrative that was really out there on July 1st was like, oh, he didn't sign. So none of these guys sign on July 1st who have a year left in their contracts. They all let it linger a little bit into the summer. I do think this is a new narrative in comparison to the one that was one before, in the sense of like, the others have definitely taken a step back. Yeah. If they fire their head coach this summer because it's gone so poorly, like, that's also a significant decision. Like, how are you doing that? Who is the guy? I don't even know who it could be. Obviously, everyone's going to point at Pete DeBoer if he's still available, but nevertheless, we're not there yet. Moving on from Nurse would give you a lot of flexibility just because of how much money he makes. But like, this is it. This is a huge spot the organization is in. But Connor McDavid is also giving them a massive benefit here too. His contract is pennies to what he's worth. They need to help him out, and I think they will. I have to believe they will.
And again, like, I'm not doing this to like shit on individual people, and like LeBron, it was very well written, and it's an important thing to note. Yeah. Right? Like, the future of the greatest player in the sport is important to know. And even someone says, unless Bob Stauffer says something about McDavid, I ain't worried. Guys, again, I'll be totally honest with you. Did Bob wasn't, everyone whiffed on trying to guess when Connor McDavid was going to sign.
Yeah, all Bob was saying was like, he's signing. Like, he just knew he would sign. But you're either on one side or the other. Like, it wasn't like there was a big thing. So, yeah. How would they help him? They would sign better players, Shooter. Yeah. Also, you can keep firing the head coach if he sucks.
Everybody else does it.
The average time for a coach to be in a spot is 2.2 years.
Isn't Knobloch already like top 10 most tenured coach in the league?
Yeah, everyone else is gone. I was ahead of him. It doesn't matter. Like, if the guy isn't working, you can't just sit there and be like, well, geez, we don't want the reputation if we just keep firing guys.
Which Canadian coach is longer tenured than Knobloch?
Cassidy?
No, Canadian.
Bruce Cassidy's Canadian?
No, I meant like the Canadian teams.
Oh, okay.
I think it might be Knobloch. Maybe Martin St. Louis.
It's St. Louis. It's St. Louis, then probably Knobloch. Travis Green hasn't been there. And Winnipeg just changed. Yeah. Berube's just
Huska.
Huska's probably third.
I think Huska was that summer, yeah.
Damn. Yeah. The Canadian teams.
Yeah.
I was thinking yesterday, and I don't think they will, but like, hypothetical world, Vegas somehow misses the playoffs this year, which isn't. If the others are in the conversation, Vegas in it too. Yeah. What if they fired Bruce Cassidy? Would you take him as a head coach?
I don't know.
1 cup win, went to the final with Boston. Fairly similar resume in that regard. Besides, he won, obviously. I don't know either.
I don't know.
Knobloch is the 10th most tenured coach in the NHL.
Who's ahead of him? Here. Rod DeBod.
Why don't I show you? Number 1, Cooper, Bednar, Brindamore, St. Louis, Cassidy, Maurice, Carberry, Brunette, Huska, Nubby.
Wow, Huska's been there longer. He was there that summer.
Oh, that summer, okay.
Never mind. Wow, the fact that Travis Green is...
Oh, and then go back to, that's crazy. Go back to the top 10 a little bit here. Like, Brunette's done after this year. Cassidy might be done.
Maurice will stay, Carberry's staying. Yeah he might fall. It might climb up to 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
Huska, I would assume Huska stays.
Probably just because, like, why would you care?
Yeah.
I don't think Murray Edwards is just going to, like, cut a check to bring in a new coach for that team.
He just paid Kadri for the next 3 years.
Yeah, maybe he told that to Connor. He's like, fine, but you can't fire the coach.
No more firings. All hirings.
Liam, we're going to play a little fill in the blank here.
Okay.
It's brought to you by GMC. Truck month is on now at GMC. If you want something reliable, tough, ready for whatever the schedule throws at you, that's the 2026 Sierra 1500 Pro Graphite Crew Cab in a nutshell. It can be yours for 0% financing for 72 months. It comes with a factory 2-inch lift, off-road suspension, and a 5.3-liter V8 engine. This is one ready-for-anything truck. Do not miss out. Go to your local GMC dealer and take advantage of Truck Month before it ends. Look at that truck. What a beauty.
What a beauty.
Liam, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fill in the blank questions for you.
All right, I'm ready.
First couple league wide. The team that regrets their deadline the most is blank.
Oh, I think the St. Louis Blues, because I think they damaged too many relationships within their organization and didn't get enough out of it for themselves.
Counterpoint.
Okay.
They didn't sell low, and all of these guys have term. I think moving Falk was moving him at his peak value because it's a playoff run and then another year. Shen, I think they did pretty good on.
Agreed.
Parayko, they got a good deal done. The player just wouldn't leave.
Yeah, but that's my point.
Yeah.
And there was other guys, too, that were rumored to be asked, and they said no.
I don't think they regret it because I think they'll just get all those guys to waive in the summer. And maybe the damaged relationships just help them do that a little bit.
Maybe. I just think Doug Armstrong should have figured that out, and now they're just like, oh, well, we didn't leak it. Must have been someone else. Well, why would Buffalo want that leaked?
Yeah.
I just think they made themselves look foolish.
Yeah, that's fair. So you're going to go St. Louis. I'm going to go Carolina.
Yeah, not Adam.
Far and away the best team in their division. And there's a glass half full, glass half empty way to do this. You could sit there and say Carolina's in first by 8 points. Why would they have to keep adding? Mm-hmm. They're probably going to win the conference, although Buffalo is nipping at them right now.
Yeah, they're close. They're top of the division now.
Yeah, they are. I get that you can make an argument with Carolina that, like, oh, they don't have to do anything. You have $40 million in cap space. You have Dallas's first-round pick that you can dangle. That's probably not going to be a very good first-round pick. For you to make your only ad being Nick Delorier, who's probably going to be eating popcorn for your entire playoff run, I just think that's a massive mistake. They're actually pretty bad defending off the rush. Brandon Bussy's maybe starting. Clock might be getting close to midnight there on that story. He hasn't been as good as he was early on in the season. Like, I think Carolina fans should be sitting there being like, why were we not all in at this deadline? If you're not all in this year, when are you ever going to be all in?
Yeah, I agree. And again, Cole, maybe you just don't know. I'm not calling you out. When you look on Puckpedia, there is projected cap space, but their current cap space is $41 million because they accrued cap
all year.
All year. They did not have anyone on LTIR.
Yeah.
The Oilers weren't able to do that because they had certain players throughout the year.
So even if you want to meet in the middle, their projected playoff roster is $20.3 million under the cap. They could have got $20 million worth of players.
Crazy.
And they did nothing.
Can I give you one other one?
Sure.
So it's regret, right?
Yeah.
I don't think maybe they do regret it now, but I just don't really know what Washington was trying to do. Like, why did you move Carlson to then only move Nick Dowd? Like, go all in. Just get rid of half your guys. And I know they don't have many guys as UFAs, but Boston didn't either, and they still found a way to get Fraser Mitten and a first-round pick for Brandon Carlo.
Yeah.
Like, there's ways to get around this.
Well, they held TVR, which was weird.
Yeah, like, surely you can get something for them.
Especially with the way prices were going.
I just don't know what you're doing. It just seemed really like a strange one. They were my...
Because I think they want to be back next year and be, like, competitive again.
Boston were?
Yeah, that's fair.
You got your cause in place. I just thought it was strange. They were actually my loser at the deadline.
Yeah. Anaheim just doing John Carlson and then selling Ryan Strome didn't make a ton of sense to me. It's like you're either in or you're not kind of
I
deal.
thought they were getting Kadri as soon as that deal went through.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to Anaheim.
I just think there were too many teams who I think because of the high prices were like, ooh, I don't want to go all in, but I have to do something.
Yeah.
And that's where, again, I'll applaud the Oilers, weirdly enough.
They just paid.
They just paid for two guys that they need, and then when everything else was going on deadline day, they were like, you know what, we're good.
Yeah. I thought the Oilers did fairly well.
Yeah. So pull up the Eastern Conference standings. Your next fill in the blank. There is a blank % chance that the 8 teams you see in the playoffs right now, Buffalo, Tampa, Detroit, Carolina, Pittsburgh, New York, Montreal, and Boston, there is a blank % chance that these are the 8 playoff teams at the end of the year. Columbus is 3 back of Boston with a game in hand, 4 back of the Islanders with 2 games in hand. They could catch either one of them too because of the divisional side of things. Ottawa is 5 back of Boston with a game in hand and 8 back of the Red Wings with 2 games in hand.
Okay. You know I'm bad at math.
Mm-hmm.
But I do not think this will be the 9. The 8, sorry. So I guess I would put myself at a 40% chance of this being it.
Okay.
Because I think the Senators will make the playoffs. Instead of...
You think the Sens are going to get hot?
I think they currently are hot.
They are. They're playing good.
So I think they'll sneak in.
Over Boston? I could see Boston falling apart a little.
Boston, probably, yeah, because they're in the Atlantic. Yeah, Boston. But they also have 2 games fewer played than Detroit.
Yeah, but they're 8 back. So even if you win both, games in hand are only worth anything if you win them.
I wonder
you're still a full 4 back.
Yeah, but I think Ottawa will make the playoffs.
Money Puck right now has Detroit at 79%, the Islanders at 70%, Boston at 62%, Columbus at 55%, Ottawa at 50%.
Interesting.
Pretty crazy that all those teams have a 50% or better shot. Mm-hmm. Someone's going to be very disappointed. Well,
the other thing is Columbus, while they have 73 points, they're obviously in the Metro. The Islanders have 77, have played 2 fewer
That's what I was saying,
games. Yeah.
They could catch them just by winning their games in hand.
Yes,
and if they were to win both those games in regulation, they would pass them for the tiebreaker.
Yeah. And also, another funny thing I noticed yesterday, the Oilers have the most regulation wins in their division.
Oh, yeah, they own that's worth half a point, man.
Hilarious after the conversations we had in, December.
Yeah. Big one last night, too. We didn't talk about this. Out-of-town scoreboard is a big thing right now.
Huge win.
Anaheim losing to St. Louis. Massive.
Go Blues, go.
Go Blues, go.
Until Friday, when I think we play them. They've been beaten. I think they beat Vegas the other day, too.
Yeah.
We're weirdly on the Blues train now.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of teams that you need them to beat. They've won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Blues. Strength of schedule. The easiest schedule in the NHL is LA. Second easiest is Anaheim. Edmonton, because they're starting to get through some tough ones, I've actually moved to 18th now. Nice. So again, they're grinding through this really tough stretch here. But in the Eastern Conference, Boston has the 4th toughest schedule in the NHL. Columbus has the 3rd toughest. Just because they got to play Carolina 3 times still. Columbus and Boston play each other 2 more times this year. Woo! That's big.
I do love hockey this time of year, where I will actually go out of my way to watch certain games.
Yeah, I'll say this, 75% chance. Playoffs stay the same in the East.
Do you think 40 is too low? I just think Ottawa can make it. I don't know how the math would be on that.
It's tough.
So would that be 90% chance? I think this is it, and the 10% chance Ottawa will.
No, I think you're fine to say. Again, Money Puck has both Ottawa and Columbus as basically 50-50 shots.
Okay, cool. 40%.
I think 40% is fine. Okay, next fill in the blank. Let's go back to the Oilers. Someone in the chat a couple minutes ago said, "Hey, have you guys talked about Pagnotta's rumor with Darnell Nurse?"
Oh yeah.
And we asked him. You can rewind the show a little bit.
He said he's gone.
For a first-round pick.
That Bowman told him.
There is a blank % chance that Darnell Nurse is an Oiler next year.
I think it's... Okay. I'm going to put it in favor of the Nurse camp and him staying because he has the power. But I think this is the closest we've ever been. I think every single summer we get closer and closer.
Yeah.
Because for at least last summer, and I think the one before, there was a moment where it was like, oh, they're trying to do this again. I'm going to say 60% chance.
That he's an Oiler next year?
That he's an Oiler.
I'll go a touch higher. I'll go 65.
Okay. I think he's just... I would love it to be 0, and I'd love to go in the favor of the team in this one who clearly wants him gone. There's obviously a bunch of layers. And one of them isn't that Connor McDavid and him are friends. Because that is just it's a narrative I will never buy.
Yeah.
McDavid is friends with everyone on this team. Majority of them. He gets sad to see him go. Yep. They all do. They're all friends. Most of them. Maybe not Jarry. He makes too much money. Mm-hmm. He sucks. And he has a no-move clause. Did the Oilers even have a first-round pick to attach to this guy? I don't know.
You know, it would be a really interesting deal if you kept $2 million and traded him to Detroit.
For cider?
But Detroit in that, Ontario area, right? Kind of close to his family.
Can I give you another team?
Sure.
Just because they're like, we want to be big, mean, and tough. The Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, well, they clearly like Parayko to an extent. So if you told them, hey, we know you like Parayko at $6.5 million, we'll keep enough, and you can just have Darnell. He's a left shot, though, which hurts. Because they have a lot of lefties.
They do have a lot of lefties. I don't know how it would work necessarily. And even if this is a contract you can take back, I don't know who would be bad. Maybe Greenway for a year or something like that. I don't know. But if they were okay, let me run you through this bad hypothetical.
Yeah.
If they were this is a bad idea. We'll take Nurse, give us whatever picks you want to throw in there just to...
They don't have that much money, actually, hey?
What if they were like, just take Zucker and Greenway off their contracts for the year? So that's about well, it's not about, it's 8.75 million. I don't know if I like that at all. I'm just trying to think about how this could go. The only one I can think of is Oliver Ekman-Larsson. When he left Vancouver, and it was like Roussel, Jay Beagle, and one other guy.
Okay. Here's the path to him becoming a Sabre.
Okay.
The Sabres going into Bowen Byram's final year trade him. And they do some deal where like he's out the door and they're getting a good young forward for him and all this stuff. So now they want like a meaner left shot to play behind Dahlin in power. So they freed up some money by trading Byram. You go to them and you say, we'll keep $2 million. So Nurse is down to 7.25.
Okay.
And then you take Greenway. So you basically say, hey, you're getting Darnell Nurse this year for basically $3.5 million. Mm-hmm. You're only freeing up $3.5 million yourself, but Greenway's done earlier.
He's a UFA.
It'll be his last year. Yeah. So like Buffalo for that 1 year, it's not that bad for him. You take Greenway off their hands, you throw him in your bottom six. It's a shitty contract, but who cares? You freed up $3.5 million. You could probably take that $3.5 million, just re-sign Murphy with it.
Probably.
And then Buffalo, you do this right at the draft, and you get the negotiating rights to Tuck. And that's how you justify whatever the asset is that you have to give Buffalo. Quinn Hudson and a pick and all this stuff.
I would honestly give them Isaac Howard. I really would.
But not to only free up that much money. I would package Howard if they took his whole deal for sure.
That's what I mean. Yeah, if it was, that's why it's Tuck. Because someone pointed out, I just wanted to clarify. We are not expecting picks back for Nurse. You're going to have to add something.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Mulek said Ike and Nurse for Kosa. Yeah, you'd probably have to keep money there, but yeah.
Sure.
Something like that, where if you're attaching Howard and then getting another young player back, it's like, whatever. But like I could see you can maybe start to spin zone it to Buffalo, being like, he's not that bad on your cap for a year. We're going to keep some money. We'll take Greenway. We'll give you Quinn Hudson. You got a young player now. Like all these things. And then you're out of it. You re-sign Murphy. Yeah. You still have $10 million in cap space, and you go throw it all at Alex Tuck.
Yeah, maybe Buffalo's a bad idea, like you said, with too many lefties.
But if they get rid of Byron, things have changed.
Anyone who wants him, new team.
So I don't know. This is from Bleed Oil Blue, who I think we trust.
Okay.
He's one of the people who will aggregate podcasts.
Is this the Friedman stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this legit?
People were just saying it in the chat. Yeah. That's why I asked.
So on 32 Thoughts, Friedman said he heard Jarry got into it with his teammates at Oilers practice, and he mentioned that Jarry and the team are having challenges getting used to each other. Why'd we trade for this guy? At least they liked Stu.
Well, he didn't do it. He didn't say anything.
There's a blank % chance that Jarry's an Oiler next year.
Oh, I think that's lower than Nurse. I do think they'll try and move him. The fact they've already tried.
I'll say 65% for Nurse, 50-50 Jarry.
Yeah, I think it's 50-50 too. I mean, at the end of the day, let's look at this timeline. You come in, you have a few good games, you get injured. Within a couple of days of you coming back, a couple of weeks, games, whatever, you call out the team defense, immediately allow a terrible performance against Calgary.
Yep.
Come back from the break. Don't really give the team anything. Now you're fighting guys, and you also get Gregor being like, I've never seen a goalie. I lost so many shots in practice. I would like to find out more, and I think maybe now that this is out by Freeman, I would not be surprised if you get Gregor's, Rashog, Staff, the people who are at practice every day, talk about it a little bit more.
That's fair. Freeman just had to be the guy to say it.
Yeah. And to defend those guys, you don't want to be the guy who releases that if you're there every day.
In his last 5 games, Tristan Jarry has only been above a 900 in one of those games, and he has allowed 23 goals in those 5 contests.
What did you think of him on Friday? I thought he was okay. I actually don't think he played that bad at all, and I know the numbers would suggest otherwise.
Yeah.
But the first goal, Walman is inside of him. Like, he cannot make the save. One of them doesn't go off Murphy, and then I just remember looking around being like, these goals all suck, and they're all everyone else's fault. And I thought he did okay. I thought he made some decent saves.
Yeah, he's
great save from Ehlers right off the bat, too.
Yeah, you're right. He made some big saves, but like, again, he's probably pissed at that first goal. I'm watching that Gostisbehere goal, and like, he is so screened. Walman's playing so soft in front. Yeah, that's a bad one.
On the players?
Yeah, like Jarry's got to be pissed at the players there. The second one is the Oilers one from way outside.
It gets tipped. I don't like that one though. Like, but I agree.
Tips happen all the time. You got to stop it.
I agree, but I think they went into a locker room and that was spoken about being like, get in front of pucks because they blocked 10 plus shots in the second period.
Yeah, that's fair. Third one was the Martin goal.
That was deflected, right? Off Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
And then the fourth one is the 6-on-5, Walman and Frederic both screen him.
But even this...
And it goes high. He could have probably stopped that one.
Sorry, this Martinook one, I'm watching it from the overhead. I don't think I like this all that much because he's just got to be more aggressive getting the puck. Like,
yeah, sure.
Yeah, he kicks out a horrible rebound. He doesn't cover the puck.
Okay.
That's like, he's given up a lot that are very similar to this.
Yeah, and he's consistent, that's for sure.
Jackson Blake was the 4-2.
Yeah, he's screened a little bit there.
Screened.
6-on-5. That group was gas. They were probably hemmed in there for a minute.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, that one I don't mind. There's two of them that I think he should stop. The Martinook and the Oilers are preventable by him. Be better positionally so you can stop a deflection. Deflection doesn't mean the puck automatically has to go in. Martinook, you need to jump and cover up the damn thing. Two of them, I'll say, aren't on him. And that last one, who gives a shit? It was 29 seconds left to quit playing.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that wasn't an empty net goal, to be honest. Overall, best game since the break. And he still allowed 5.
He made some big saves.
He did, and I think that needs to be credited. This needs to stop from him. If he's arguing in practice, things need to turn around here quite a bit. Because right now, I think there's clearly a lack of trust. And I think Calvin Pickett's sitting on the bench for them in the playoffs.
No, there's no way.
I think if they added more money, they would have.
Yeah, it's not a conversation.
I do think so.
You're not going to turf his trade value. Last one I got for you then, and I think I'll know your answer. This is going to parlay into our Spotify question. There is a blank % chance that Connor Ingram is starting game 1 of the playoffs.
Oh, I would say like 85.
I was going to go 90.
I was going to go 95.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I think fairly high. I mean, at the end of the day.
Has to be. Right?
And
it's not like 2 weeks where he's been better now. It's like 2 months where he's been better.
I don't know how you could look Connor in the eye if you put Tristan Jarry out there for game 1. And
how you could look any of the Connors in the eye.
Ooh. Yeah.
Ingram, McDavid, Murphy, the guy who works on the training staff.
I was going to say the training staff guy, Clattenburg.
Connor Allen, the skills coach. I wouldn't be able to look him in the eye and say I'm going with Jarry over Ingram.
We're going with Jarry today. They all had to line up. Connor, get in here.
And they all come scurrying in.
They were a hive mind. Wise Kyle,
shut up. You suck. You're going to timeout. You're so stupid. It's the dumbest thing ever.
Sucks. God.
Shooter McGavin gave great input on After Dark last night in a voicemail.
Stunner.
It was fantastic. It was awesome.
Did he watch a game?
Yeah, I think so.
I like that we have beefs with random people who watch our shows.
Shooter came in here earlier. First comment. Hey, my birthday is coming up. Anyone know where I can get some free stuff? Dude.
Get a job.
What did he say? What did Shooter Doug say?
I don't even remember, but I remember going, wow, that was like a real thought. Attaboy, Shooter. Attaboy. So we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
Wise Kyle, take some of that. Try some of that.
Wise Kyle likes Jack Campbell, so should always consider that when we realize.
Your Spotify question for everybody listening along on podcast form is, give me your % chance that it's Connor Ingram starting, and give me your % chance that Jarry's still here next year. % chance Ingram starts game 1 of the playoffs. % chance Jarry is here next season.
Naeem is in. I haven't seen Naeem for so long. Isn't Shooter like 15? No. Yes.
If Shooter's Doug, then no.
I'm pretty sure he's 18.
I'll play the voicemail and we'll try and gauge it from his voice.
I thought he worked for the airline.
I'm sure he's 18. For those of you who are curious, yes, Tristan Jarry does have trade protection. 12-team, no trade list.
But if he fucking hates it here, he might just be like, I'm out.
Also, the fact Edmonton was not on those 12, not bad. He does live in Sherwood Park in the summers.
They got to figure it out.
He has to figure it out.
Yeah.
All of them do.
There was someone else that like aggregated something that Bob said about Jarry, but I can't find it now.
People were saying that Bob was on a similar path of what he said. Also, before we end, crazy wind yesterday. Hope everyone's okay.
Yeah, did you have any trees fall down?
No. I moved my garbage cans correctly. I put them in my garage for the day. And, we were mad chilling.
Shout out Menzies. This was in his Sunday scramble. This is the Bob quote right here.
I watched him yesterday in practice, and he was getting beat in practice. And finally, one of the leaders, you could see him say, you've got to push it more. And it's both goalies, and that's concerning. They are concerned. I am concerned. Jarry looked like a commonplace netminder for 2.5 games when acquired by the Oilers.
That's Menzies.
Oh, that's Menzies.
This is just...
That's the end.
That's what he was saying about... There was some arguing, it seems like, going on in practice.
So the beef might be here that Tristan Jarry is just letting pucks go in practice and isn't trying. And the team's probably sitting there going, be better. And he's probably sitting there going, be better.
Yeah.
And they're all yelling, be better at each other. But I'm certainly not yelling that at you. Okay, this is the Bob one I wanted. There are some extraneous things that have me quite concerned with Tristan. I can read between the lines of what was going on the ice yesterday in practice. There seemed to be some expletives flying, and I didn't like that. Jarry, when the Oilers lost 7-3 to Minnesota, talked about how the team is playing defensively in front of him. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't take account. That was the book on Jarry before they got him, was that he does not take accountability. So do your fucking homework, Stan. Don't trade a bunch of assets for a guy on an albatross contract who gets into it with his coach or teammates.
Yeah. Sorry.
In Pittsburgh, it was probably more the coach, but now you kind of start to wonder.
I don't think you're speaking up like that to Sidney Crosby, and I would treat Connor McDavid with a similar respect.
Yeah. I want him to work, man. I want him to work really bad.
I do too.
And they need him to some extent.
Yeah, we desperately. He's paid to be good. We can't have all these players who got paid to be good and they all suck.
Yeah, and then if you get to a summer where like St. Louis is dangling Binnington and Bobrovsky's a free, like you're going to have a really hard time trading Tristan Jarry.
Totally.
Which is maybe why you don't trade for guys at the peak of their value, everybody. Negotiating 101. Anyways. We got to wrap this bad boy up.
Yep. Shout out Matt Dunstone. Hell of a Briar final yesterday.
Hey, no longer a bridesmaid in the curling world.
No.
Matt Dunstone's got his win.
Also, poor article from Sportsnet too.
On what?
Just talking about like the imbalance of curling right now. It's like they're clearly just in a transition year.
It happened in tennis for a few years.
Also, what's his name? King? I don't know his first name. 23 years old.
Yeah.
And he qualified for a playoff game.
Yeah.
Calvert's good from Manitoba. Like, yeah, we get it. Guys are retiring, but it gives other guys an opportunity.
It takes time for guys to become household names. Okay, that's a wrap on today's show, brought to you by Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION, whatever the moment, never ordinary. Bet365. Tomorrow, game day, Colorado. Yikes. Maybe we'll get our guy Jesse Montano on. He's great. Okay, that's a wrap, everybody. You were great. YouTube chat buzzing. We'll see you all tomorrow. Noon Mountain. Oil up.
Farewell.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.